With the celebration of Thanos, the Mad Titan himself, jumping into Infinity War and onto the screen, I wanted to do my top 5 Marvel MCU villains. So let's just jump right into it. My number 5 villain is Claw, Ulysses Claw from Black Panther's last movie. His first appearance was in Fantastic Four number 53, and he's a crazy character. I always liked that in the comic books he wasn't just too smart or too manipulative or just too much of a mastermind. He was just a second tier villain that kind of does certain things and is just a pain in the ass for Black Panther. In the movie, I like that they kept him to that. They didn't try and make him too crazy and smart and out of control. They made him just this guy who had a heart on to destroy parts of Wakanda and get back at the people that hurt him so bad. I like that a lot. I like that a lot. The weaponry that he had, the soldiers, the Black Ops soldiers that he had with him was really dope. And I thought he was a great addition to the movie. And especially being the fact that he wasn't the main villain, he was a side villain. I like the fact that they kept him as a side villain, something that he is pretty much in comic books. My number 4 is going to be Bucky Barnes himself, Winter Soldier. Now, in Captain America Winter Soldier, we learned that Bucky Barnes was still alive, and for the most part, he was reprogrammed as a Russian super agent. The movie itself was dope to just see Captain America be able to fight with somebody that's a super soldier almost on his level with his training. Plus the fact that they had that connection of loving each other as homies, the brothers, to see him alive thinking he was dead for so long, it was pretty epic. Now, Bucky Barnes' first appearance was in 1941 in Captain America #1. But the Winter Soldier's first appearance was in the restart of Captain America #1 in 2005. Now, that comic was really dope and dark. I love the way that they did everything within making Bucky Barnes' character the Winter Soldier and explaining why he is the way that he is. Now, my number 3 MCU villain is going to be Hela from Thor Ragnarok. First of all, she came through, she wrecked everything. She broke the hammer, she showed him that, look, you ain't nothing. I'm the big sis. I'm the goddess of hell. You need to calm down. You need to go and do something else. She made him grow as a character, which is something I need from most villains. I hate a villain that's just there to just be, I'm bad, I'm bad, I'm bad. No, we need somebody, because that's like Trump. Trump is just there being bad. He's not actually a real villain, you know? We need somebody there that's going to help our character grow. She helped our character grow. It also doesn't hurt the fact that she had those big old wolves next to her. That's dope. For a Lycan nerd like me, I was like, oh my God, I want her to win. Me being a kid that's displaced from his parents and thinking that, hey, his parents aren't always correct, I would have to say that she hit a soft spot with me. Hela's first appearance was in Journey into Mystery 102, and she's just a dope character. Asgardian goddess of death. That's dope. So Hela, number 3 is my MCU villains. Number 2. Now this is kind of crazy because a lot of people would look at me and be like, really? Now, if you don't know why they would say really, it's because I didn't really like Spider-Man Homecoming. And I have to say that it's not necessarily that I didn't like Spider-Man Homecoming. I liked the movie itself. I just didn't like Tom Holland playing Spider-Man. And I didn't like that version of Spider-Man that they put on it. But that's a whole nother video. I have to say that my number 2 MCU villain is going to be the Vulture from Spider-Man Homecoming. He killed it. He was out of control. He made you really understand him as a villain. And anytime you sympathize with the villain too much, it makes a good movie. Because you don't necessarily want the good guy to win. You know the good guy is supposed to win. But to have a villain that really hits your heart, you're like, he's just trying to feed his kids. Isn't that still what they did to him? It's not fair. Like, look at the politics of the whole situation itself, too, really showed me something that made me just love this character. Michael Keaton is a hell of an actor to me. He's one of my favorite Batman. And the fact that he was able to do DC and Marvel and do these 2 different characters from 2 different distributors and make them both really great, I'm out of control. So I believe the Vulture's first appearance, because he's been in different types of Spider-Man, all the different issues. He's had different characters that played him, but I believe like the first appearance was Adrian Toomes in Amazing Spider-Man #2, and he was really dope. He was the one that you guys are probably more familiar with, like the older guy that's trying to get young and whatnot from animated series. So, I'm talking too much. Let's get into our number 1. My number 1 MCU villain. You probably already knew it. It's going to be Eric Killmonger. Now, Killmonger really... How can I say this? He hit close to home for me on several levels. Not just because he's a black guy, but I don't know who my father is. I grew up in a bad neighborhood. I strive to try and do something better. I consider myself a warrior. I love Vegeta. That was dope. If you guys don't know, he modeled that armor after Vegeta, which is it's right. As a whole, Eric Killmonger, he spoke to me as a person. And like I just said about the Vulture, when you have a villain that you sympathize with, it makes the movie really hard to watch. And it makes it really good, though. All throughout Black Panther, I was like, yeah, this is crazy, this is this and that. And then when you really find out the story and what's going on, you want to cry and you kind of understand and you sympathize with why Killmonger is doing what he's doing. And to the extent, too, you gotta love just the heart and the passion he had. Some of the statements that he made, like, bury me in the sea next to my ancestors that jumped over the slave ships because they didn't want to live in bondage. That was dope. The fact that he wouldn't let them save him so that he could live in jail. He wanted freedom. It was just amazing. So Eric Killmonger is my number one. Killmonger, he killed it. I don't know if I said this already, but his first appearance was in Jungle Action #2. It wasn't Jungle Action #2. It was Jungle Action #6. I messed up there. It was actually Jungle Action #6. And Killmonger is one of my favorite villains as it is. Like, honestly, he made me like him more than Black Panther. If I'm going to cosplay, I'm going to cosplay as him. He represented everything that I really am, the politics of the situation as far as black males, and he made Black Panther a better person. That's the whole thing. He showed him that you don't have to be perfect, that the people that you thought were perfect aren't necessarily perfect, and that the best thing you can do is try and be better than them. It's not necessarily to be better than them, but to just be true to yourself and you do a better job than what they could have. I have to do my 2 honorable mentions. Let's see, my 2 honorable mentions would have to be Dr. Octopus and Spider-Man 2. He was amazing, out of control. He was another character that you can sympathize with. You understood why he was doing what he was doing, and it kind of made you hate Spider-Man for it. My other honorable mention, it has to be Deacon Frost from Marvel's Blade. I mean, for the love of God, he banged Blade's mother. He kept her as a sex slave. I mean, if that doesn't make you a big bad villain, I don't know what does. I mean, I would be pissed. No, I wouldn't. Yeah, me and my mom got issues. I probably would be like Blade in that scene right there. Yeah. Anyway, those are my honorable mentions. 5. If you like the things that you see here, please subscribe. And I'm going to drop another video. I think it's going to be my top 5 Marvel deaths. Because we know in Infinity War, some people about to die. They about to die.